I be sparking and rushing mad like inside the dark. Call me Bill Snatcher, just a brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a gauntlet and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my secret.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is the time of the month where a lot of the content that we talk about here on the channel is gonna be spoiler heavy. So I thank you for your support. However, if you're still here, I'm assuming you guys have already hit the like button, because you know the drill by now. If you hit the like button, that is an easy way, and I mean an easy way, to stop Naruto from crying. And if you've read the last Boruto manga chapter, you know that Naruto, a man who's lived one of the hardest lives out of everybody in the Naruto universe, Naruto needs all the reasons in the world to smile, because his own son has been packed up by his adopted son. So make sure you hit that like button for Naruto, that way Naruto can stop crying. So getting right into the actual discussion, I want to talk to you guys, and I want to tell you why I personally think that we're in a situation where that Boruto pack needs to be a pack that we smoke for a while. I think that the Boruto manga will be very well served to have Boruto stay dead for a while. Now, I'm not saying stay dead for like 100 chapters. I'm not saying that, though. There are some people that absolutely detest Boruto as a character. They would probably prefer a situation where Boruto is dead and never comes back into the manga. I'm not suggesting that. However, what I am suggesting is we take this opportunity now to actually take the scope off of Boruto Uzumaki as a character. Now, that might seem foreign to some of you guys, because I know for a lot of you, Boruto is your first manga. I know as much from what you've told me in the comments, and especially those of you guys who have talked to me in the DMs. I know this is a lot of you guys' first manga series, but what I'm suggesting isn't uncommon. The more manga you read, the more you'll see that mangaka will take the scope off of their main character and focus on other characters, and it's not uncommon that you go several weeks without the main character being in focus. For example, if you look at Dragon Ball, there were entire arcs where Goku didn't show up until the end of the arc. For the most part, he was sidelined. We'll pop in here or there and get status updates just to remind people that, like, hey, the main character is still in the story. He's just not in the main story right now, but he's on his way. This is actually something that Masashi Kishimoto did with Naruto. Once you get to around chapter 340, I want to say it should be 343. Once you get around chapter 343 in the volume 38 all the way up to about volume 44 of the Naruto manga, most of that story was focused on Sasuke. We popped in on Jiraiya for a little bit, where we discovered the events of Jiraiya's death. But for the most part, the story didn't have Naruto front and center. It focused on other characters, and the Fated Brothers arc, the Jiraiya the Gallant arc, the aftermath of Sasuke learning the truth about Itachi. Those are some of the best arcs in the manga, and Naruto is basically a side character for them. But when you look at what was done in those individual story arcs, it was a way to take the scope off of Naruto as a character, focus in on the other characters, raise the stakes, continue to see what's going on in the world around the main character, all while raising the stakes of the main character without the main character being directly involved. You have this opportunity with Boruto now to really start playing up the ramifications of him being dead, and that's where allowing him to stay dead for an extended period of time, because Boruto is monthly, maybe allow him to stay dead for a couple of volumes and really just get into the aftermath of this and do more setup. There's a great opportunity for a lot of conflict and tension here. I always thought it was brilliant how Masashi Kishimoto basically took a page out of Akira Toriyama's book, which was Masashi Kishimoto kept Naruto out of the main manga for about 60 chapters, where we just popped in on Naruto here or there, but for the most part, he took the time out to focus on the other co-main character. In Boruto Part 1, this is the story of Naruto and Boruto, but we're in that transition phase where we're moving away from Naruto being a co-main character. This allows you the opportunity to really start that transition, because you can use Naruto as a bridge to moving things over to Kawaki, taking Naruto's place as being that co-main character, which I do feel like that's what they've been setting up, exploring the fallout and the rift that grows between Naruto and Kawaki, and flashing in and out with Boruto's undergoing some type of a spiritual journey, a Valhalla type arc that gives you the opportunity to allow us to see the fallout of Boruto's death through the other characters. You get to see somebody like Sarada's reaction and the ramifications of Boruto dying and Kawaki being at the center of it, Kawaki ignoring teamwork, Naruto having to speak with the 5 Kage, see the differing opinions that some of the Kage are going to have. On one hand, they didn't trust Kawaki, but on the other hand, Kawaki saved them from Momoshiki. It gives you opportunity to really see as Naruto is having to struggle with that Hokage and father role. You also, most importantly, get to see the ramifications of Boruto's death via Hinata breaking down, Himawari breaking down. One of the last shots that we saw of Hinata was her saying, "I hope everybody comes back safe." Having Naruto bring the dead body of their child is going to go down as one of the most heart-wrenching of arcs that you're going to see for Hinata's character. I think that that could be something that does real wonders for her. You also get the opportunity to potentially see Sasuke show a different side to his character as well. There's a lot you can do here, and it gives you opportunity to do what Yu Yu Hakusho did, which is where when Yu Yu Hakusho killed Yusuke Urameshi in the very first chapter, we got to see the world around Yusuke and learn more about the character through how other people viewed the character and their reactions to his death. It's one thing for somebody to say, "I'm X, Y, and Z." It's another thing when you get to see how people around them actually view them when they don't think that the person they're talking about can actually hear them or see them. This is a really great opportunity right here if Boruto were to kind of go that route and allow Boruto to go on some type of a journey to return back to life. You start the process of transition away from Naruto, putting some of the heat onto Kawaki for what he's done. You also start the process of showing Boruto undergo whatever journey he needs to in order to come back to life, unless you think that some Otsutsuki is going to reach out from the grave and touch Boruto in the same way that Hagoromo touched Naruto and Sasuke when they were in a very vulnerable space. Unless you think something like that's going to happen, I think that this is your better option to bring Boruto back. And when Boruto comes back, that allows you to kind of go into your time skip. That allows you to move the story off of it being the Naruto and Boruto story and just be the Boruto Uzumaki story right there. And the more I'm thinking about it, the more I do think that the Yu Yu Hakusho route could work. The same way that Yusuke got killed off twice in his manga, and the second time when he died, it ended up being a major plot point. It affected the characters around him, and it ultimately set up the final arc of the story. I think that this gives you a great opportunity here to really raise the stakes and really put more in place if there's continued fallout from Boruto dying. And for that one person that's going to write in the comment section, you just spoil parts of Yu Yu Hakusho for me. I would like to think that after a series being done for 26 years, it's perfectly safe to bring up story points that are vague and not going outright into detail. And even if I did, the fact it's been over for 26 years and the points are relevant to the discussion we're having here, I wouldn't think that that will require a spoiler warning. That would be like me getting upset when somebody spoils Iron Man 1 because I didn't watch Iron Man 1, which that's just an extreme example. Obviously, I've watched the MCU movies. If you follow me on Twitter, that's something you know. However, what I want to know from you guys is, what are you guys' thoughts on the idea of keeping Boruto dead and out of the story for a while? And what characters do you think could benefit most in terms of character development in the manga? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.